a signal that we're live. Yay. And I'll show you what the signal looks like. It goes like this, and then he throws it my way. So.
But you're supposed to catch it.
Oh, I dropped the ball. Sorry. I dropped the live ball. We are live today with Robert, and we're going to be talking a little bit about oil of the month and sourcing. So let's go ahead and get started.
Woo, I'm feeling it this morning, you guys. We are going to be answering questions this whole live show. How do you get through a day? To me, it smells like a very light kind of pine scent. So if you've been wanting to get one of these drop shop items, we are just going to have lots of fun. Who is ready for some life hacks? We have all of this fun stuff to give away. It's colorful, cozy. Really, we just like to get to know our customers. Never look a horse in the Cheez-It.
That one never gets old. So today we knew you guys wouldn't want to miss out talking with Robert about oil of the month. And since I was out sick on Monday, dang babies, we wanted to move Monday Mingle to Wellness Wednesday. So happy Wednesday, everyone. Before we dive into this, let's go ahead and see who's tuning in. So we've got Celeste, who says hello from sunny Oregon. Jenna says, Emily, cute baby bump. Hi, Robert from Syracuse, New York.
What about my baby bump?
I think I'm beating you, definitely.
Let's hope so.
I am definitely beating you on the baby bump. It's starting to be bumpalicious is what I call it. So, Heather says hello from chilly Windsor, Ontario, Canada. We've got Pat from Boise, Idaho. Let's see who else. Nina from Vancouver, Washington. Misty, I love you. She always says hello, all my lovely petals. I'm finally catching a live. I call Katrina my lovely petal now every time I remember that. So because she's so lovely. Alrighty, who do we have joining on Instagram?
We're not talking bike pedal, are we?
We have CMZ007 says hello from Wisconsin. Forever Not Me says hello from Iowa. Moonlily1013 says hello from Vermont. Danalee 1983 says hello from Delaware. And we have Miss Jennifer Ann says hi from Kansas. Happy Wednesday.
Kansas.
Hannatude says finally catching a live in rainy Southern California. Holistic Nurse Mama says hi PT friends from warm Georgia. Ooh. Dakota Connor 3 says hi from California. And let me scroll down here real quick and find some more. DMC 3 Ring Circus says, hi Robert, you have such an amazing job. The official wizard of sorcery. I like that.
We need to get you a new lab coat that says that.
I shall.
That
the
should
wizard.
be your thing. Wizard of sorcery. Well,
But
welcome.
spell it like source.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Danny. Come on.
We knew that.
Get with the program. Jeez. Well, we're really excited to have Robert on the show today to talk a little bit more about sourcing. But before we do that, I think we should do our backweirds oils. Have you done the backweirds
I don't
yet?
even know what you guys are talking about.
Okay,
So.
Robert, you're going to love this. Danny is just...
I'm a loyal watcher.
You're too busy sourcing. You don't have
right.
time to watch. But Danny created a really fabulous song for Backweirds that I cannot
Shocker.
wait for him to share with you.
Are you guys ready?
Ready?
We're ready.
Backweird oils. They are the name of your essential oils, but only backwards. That's why they're backweird oils. Backweird oils.
Always makes me smile so much it hurts.
Does he always
Well,
Oh, yes.
today's backweird oil
Oh.
is kind of easy. So what I'm gonna do is play it for you in with a robot voice. It's backwards as well, and then we'll play it backwards. Are you ready?
No.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, I know what it is. Yep.
Okay.
I think I know.
It is. Do you think you know what it is, Robert?
No.
Okay, so it is a single oil. It is pretty popular. And here we go. Nimel.
Is it a citrus?
That might be too much information.
Oh, come on.
I think they got it.
I think they got
I think
it.
they got it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Are you
lemons
guys
on the
There's
thing
a
here.
lot of lemons.
I was thinking a lemon too.
Lemon.
Yay!
I never get them, and that one I did as soon as. I'm proud of myself. Okay, you guys, I don't
I'm
ever
proud
get
of
them.
you.
They're so hard. All right.
Lemon.
Lemon.
Peppermint.
I do love.
That's right. Melissa, we see you with your peppermint.
Alrighty, do we get to pick a winner on Facebook and Instagram?
Let's do it. Or somebody from the Facebook, YouTube.
Well,
So
yes.
you pick a winner
Sorry, guys. Facebook, YouTube, you all come together. You're family in my eyes. And then Instagram, we just
They're
are
a little
separate.
snobbier.
Yeah.
They're a little special. So, okay, I'm gonna let Robert pick one. So, Robert, you just
Sure.
scroll up and down until you find your winner.
Oh boy.
Ooh, I'm excited.
No pressure.
Pressure. Am I scrolling?
No, just yep, like that. You
There he
got
goes.
it. You
Oh, here
got
we
it.
go.
I know I couldn't figure this mouse out at first either. It's way too fancy.
Okay. And I have to pick one that got it right?
No.
You can just pick anyone you want.
Yeah.
I say Rachel Frances Wing.
Rachel Frances Wing.
Rachel Frances.
Yay!
Such a good name.
I know that.
I wish
is
I had a
good
wing on the
name.
end of mine.
On the end of your name?
Yeah.
I'll call you Robert Bardsley Wing.
There we go.
Alrighty, well, email cs@planttherapy.com and we'll get you a free bottle of lemon sent your way. And who is our winner on Instagram?
Okay, I'm
Katrina?
gonna cover my eyes. The
Oops,
winner
that-
is going to be Bianca Bailey 13.
Yay!
That's
And you
another
can
good name.
even say her name.
Yes.
That's so exciting.
I'm always so excited.
Bailey, that's like
that
a movie
name.
star name.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having Bianca in my
Yeah.
name.
I
Robert,
know.
will
I
you
kind of.
Bianca
start
Bart.
calling
Maybe
her?
I should start rethinking my baby names. I kind of like
Ooh.
Bianca.
There you go.
That's really pretty.
And Bianca could be a guy's name too.
Um,
Bianco.
Bianca. I don't know about that.
Well, think about it. I'm just saying. think
Nice.
about
Danny, were you in charge of naming your children? Please tell me your
No.
wife was.
it. She
I know
was.
she was because they have adorable names. So.
Yeah, they're cute names.
Alrighty, guys. Well, first, before we start talking about our upcoming oil of the month or our current oil of the month, and I'm not telling you what it is.
Not
it's
at all.
not going to happen. I'm not
She's-
letting it slip.
She's trying to convince herself.
I'm really trying to convince myself, so you can't get it out of me. But we are going to talk about January's oil of the month and February's oil of the month. So, January, we had a really unique oil, Robert, and one that I really love, and I think you know that, and that's Szechuan pepper. I just love it. It makes my mouth water.
Wait.
I know. No, not
January
January.
was Woodland.
Did
Oh, you put it in the
I
wrong
put them in the
order,
wrong
Dan.
order.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay.
January was the
Okay.
Woodland creatures.
I just
or
got
something like that.
excited because I love
Damn it.
Szechuan pepper so much. Okay, but I'm going to make
Fail.
sure that, Danny, this better not be the one. Okay,
No.
it's not the one.
Yeah, I have one job, guys.
Okay, so just kidding, you guys. It's actually Woodland was January oil of the month. And it was also really beautiful. Robert and I have been talking a lot about doing co-extracted oils for a really
Yeah.
long time. It's something that I get really excited about. So I was really excited to see Woodland. And I love woodsy oils. So this was an awesome oil for me too.
Yeah, did anybody get Woodland? And what did you think of it? This was a French pine, I believe, and cedar wood,
Yep.
co-extracted. This is a base that's used in perfumery a lot.
So
one thing
good.
I found going around is that a lot of times the back note of these perfumes is something you wouldn't normally think smells great. This one happens to smell great, but things like oak moss and tobacco, it's kind of like, whoa, and then they mix it together and it's amazing in the end. But a lot of times the back notes are a little funky.
Do you want to smell it again?
I do.
Because it's so good.
This is so,
It's
like
just-
6 months ago.
Oh, I love it so much.
Yeah, so that's
It's just warm and nice, and like I want to blend it with yuzu and all sorts of fun stuff. It's beautiful. Can you talk to us a little bit about co-extraction?
Yeah, so there's co-distillation, and co-extraction is exactly what that sounds like. when you have two oils that they're extracting, this would just mean that instead of mixing the two plants in at the same time and distilling it, steam distilling it at the same time, they would already have distilled these once and then they're extracting them as one. And so that's just a little bit of difference with this one.
Gotcha.
So that's why we call it a co-extraction.
And it produces just a really beautiful oil.
It does.
And one that I think is very unique when compared to just cedar wood or pine on its own. It's just, it's really beautiful.
Oh, we're getting some good.
Jim Girl 00000 sounds so good. Might have to join Oil of the Month.
Oh, girl, yes. Oh, Jim girl, honey, yes.
And Love and Wisdom 12 says it's nice with bergamot.
Oh, yes, yes, I love that combo. I love woodsy oils with a nice citrus. April says it is a great, wait, no, Woodland is great. Am I just not reading that properly? But she uses it in a beard balm.
Made a beard balm with it for my boy.
Rachel has a beard?
I think it's Woodland is great. Made a
For her
beard
son.
balm
For
with
my
it
boy.
for my boy. Okay, sorry.
And him and his wife love it.
And it really is
Hey,
so
nothing
nice.
wrong with a guy named Rachel.
But it is very it's a masculine scent. I love it. Beautiful.
Amanda Panda 112 is asking, what is the difference between a synergy and an essential oil blend?
So essentially a blend and a synergy are the same. We've just utilized synergy because it speaks more to the synergistic effect that you get when you're blending multiple oils together.
So what would be the difference between one of our blends and this oil?
So this is a co-extraction, so it's a little bit different. So a blend would just be taking individual single oils and mixing them together, whereas these two oils are actually extracted together.
Yeah. So these are done at the process.
Yes.
So that's the difference.
Robert, were you saying that... Whoa, my microphone's nice and loud. Robert, were you saying that they extracted the oils separately, then put them together, then co-extracted them that way, right?
They distilled them separately on this one first.
one.
Now, I think we've done one in the past that was lavender,
Infused frankincense?
frankincense.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And so
Yes.
that one was done together, just throwing some lavender in to get that infused. So there's little different ways, but a lot of people would call this co-distilled, but we just like to be a little more correct on
Specific,
this.
yeah.
So we specific is a good word.
definitely.
So we called it what it is. What's it? Co-extraction.
And it's lovely. So are we
Super cool.
seeing any questions? Let's see.
Well,
Woodland is my number one. Yes, honey, I love it's my number one too. It's so pretty. Except for I do love February's
Let's go to
oil of the
February.
month.
yeah, let's talk.
Which
this
is-
is my favorite.
Okay.
Can we get one more question?
Yes.
Now there's
Sure.
DMC 3-Ring Circus says, so a co-extraction scent, is it stronger than a blend?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, not necessarily. It
No.
depends on the oils.
Yeah. It just, if you're using very strong oils that are very strong fragrances, then it will be stronger. But this, I wouldn't say it's any stronger than like a cedar wood on its own. It's just a unique scent.
It's very smooth.
Yes, it's so smooth.
And Forever Not Me is asking, does it make the scent different than just combining those two different oils?
I think so. Yeah, I definitely think so. You get more of a unique scent through this extraction method.
For sure. So usually we'll see a lot of extractions or absolutes, these type of things will definitely have a deeper, usually better smell than just a pure EO.
That smells really great. So, okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and move on to Szechuan pepper, which I don't know. I want to know if people are loving this, what they thought about this oil, because I seriously love it so much. It makes my mouth water. It's so delightful. I
It's
think
definitely
so
a
good.
love-hate thing. Either you are Camp Szechuan or
I am Team Szechuan. Like, we need that hashtag for all my Team Szechuan peeps.
let's see if we get any team.
Yes,
I'm
it's-
seeing a lot of
It's so
Dude,
good.
I'm going to type it in right now because that... What was it? Hashtag...
Hashtag Team Szechuan.
can't
Now,
smell.
obviously, there's a lot of history in food with this. It's a province in China, so that drew me to it. We go to China a lot for business, and Szechuan is something that Szechuan depends on how you want to say it. But I also love Chinese food. So.
We're getting some. I haven't tried it yet.
like
Initially,
pot.
I was concerned it would smell the same as the oils. Oh, this is Woodland. Sorry. Let's see. Yeah. So let me know. Let us know, guys, if you've tried Szechuan. Katrina, are you getting any feedback on Instagram about
We
it?
have Bianca Bailey 13 says hashtag Team Szechuan. DMC 3 Ring Circus, gotta be honest, I skipped this one. Lavender Love 44 is asking if you can use it in food.
It's not one that I have used in food. Generally, I don't recommend using essential oils in food, just because
it's CO2.
Yeah, it is a CO2. Oh, look, it says right there it's a CO2
So,
extract.
how can we put this delicately?
Robert,
I
you're
don't
not
think
good
our
at delicate.
official, spill is that we use it in anything to be ingested, but this is food grade, so I'll throw that out there. Most of our CO2s are food grade. If you watch a lot of the cooking shows, they're using a lot of these essential oils, and usually that's in CO2 form.
CO2s are typically what is used in
For
flavoring
flavors.
in food.
Yeah.
Yes. And really, I would be tempted to make a salad dressing with this because I think it smells so good.
You'd like to be very careful.
Yes. But I'm not recommending it. I just love it.
It's funny because even in the studio, I think we are 50-50.
50-50,
We're
yeah.
like split right down the middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as loving it or
This was
not
probably the
loving it.
scariest oil for me to release and say, let's do it, because I knew it would be a little bit polarizing. But we do like to throw a pepper out there every once in a while. And this is definitely a famous one. And so we put it out.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing month 3, we like to jump from the pepper into the sweet.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think Robert has a very great game plan when it comes to oil of the months, and it's something that a lot of thought and a
Yeah.
lot of time goes into these oils, when we release them, how they're released, and they're approved by a group of people, right? It's not just Robert saying oh, let's go with this one.
Yeah.
It's a group of people that are
Congress.
involved. Yes, it's several people, especially on ones that I think are maybe a little bit more controversial, like Szechuan,
Yeah.
right? So
One thing that we found after 4 years, it's hard to find oils that are not sold by everybody, that are on the rare side or really rare, and are $15 every
Right.
time. So, I keep saying, we can't do this another year. And then
and then you keep doing it, Robert.
we keep trying. And this year is going to be the best year. I really think this year, if you're not in it, subscribe, because I don't see any weak link
I
in the rest of the
know.
year. So
Robert brought some oil of the months to my desk recently, and I was in love with them. Really just beautiful, beautiful oils.
I personally want to do a better job of getting the backgrounds from Robert of these oils. 'Cause
Yes.
There's some of the stories. So one of the reasons we have him here today is the story for March's oil. He was going over
let's
it.
That
talk
and I-
about
shall
that.
not be named.
Yeah.
we
We
won't
can-
talk. We won't say the name of.
Yeah. So
But
you turned into it.
I didn't say it. I wish I knew sign language. But we do have some pictures, right, Danny?
We do have pictures.
There's a
Are you
great
guys-
story to this. So when we
So
started
I'm going to
digging,
put them
go
up
ahead.
here for you guys as well, but then I'll have them on screen for the viewers here. So
Awesome.
Okay.
let me do that real fast. That way you can tell us what we're looking at here. So that's coming up.
Right now we're looking at CBD.
CBD. There you go. There you go.
Oh, this is lovely.
So what we find a lot, especially in developing countries. Where's the camera, Danny? Right there.
This one here is the one that.
I'm trying to look.
Yeah.
But in developing countries, what we find a lot of is, people that are poor, they're a lot of times when something sells, they'll run it into the ground. You know, they'll over harvest. They'll cut down trees. And so we're always looking for that sustainable sourcing. And we always try to do the right thing around the world and leave it a better place. So a lot of times we have a great boss and owner who tells us, you know, do the right thing always. And so our sandalwood, we get it from Australia for a reason, because it's sustainably harvested there. You know, for every tree they're using, there's 3 new ones going up. And, you know, there is no illegal poaching of the wood there. And, you know, oils like spikenard, we've moved away from, even though we were getting a sustainable source, you know, we just want to move away from things that are moving towards endangered. This oil is very similar to a root called Indian sarsaparilla in India. And this is used in a lot of energy drinks and health drinks. But the Decalipus is very similar in the sweet.
I knew it was gonna happen.
Dang it!
That's okay. They didn't.
You didn't hear me.
anything.
You didn't hear that out.
Right when he said it.
Dang it! She knew it was going to happen. I think she's done it before. Just saying.
She totally has.
I totally have.
But anyways,
I
this
just thought it
oil.
would be me.
This oil is usually found in this peninsular part of India, growing wild, like between rocks, and so it's considered a wild harvested plant. But we've worked with a company here, as you can see, that's cultivating this on a farm. And I think there's some other pictures when they get bigger. Here you go.
Oh, wow.
But this is what we like to see in the world. You know, people doing it the right way. And then a lot of the companies we work with will give part of the profits back to the local villages with, you know, who are working on their oils with them. And a lot of companies will try and keep them busy all year long. And so it's something that we really strive to do. And so this one had a great story to it. I think we're the only company in the world that's put this oil out on the market. But in India, this specific plant is extremely popular. It's in several drugs. It's in a lot of health drinks. And it's used for a lot of therapeutic reasons that we shall not name. Am I being safe there?
Well, you might as well name the therapeutic benefits now. But I love seeing these pictures, Robert, and those roots are amazing.
Amazing, right? So they'll chop these into little 1-inch pieces, and then we're getting an absolute out of this, which is a lot of work. I compare it to back with the old cheesecloth. You know, you're going through it several times. So when they're working with these, I'll have to show some pictures another day of all the work that goes into an absolute. But a reason a rose, you know, auto or something like that costs so much more is in these processes. It's a really time-consuming process to get these made. And so this oil, I won't say it again, it's made from a root, and I just smelled this last October, and it blew me away at how good it smelled. And
then to learn how therapeutic it was.
Yes.
It's just really exciting to me, because a lot of the times oils that smell really good might not be as therapeutic as others.
Bingo.
Right.
Especially roots. So when I see somebody with a root, I'm usually like, oh gosh, this is not going to work, because we know everybody wants their oils to smell good, even though we also want them to be therapeutic.
Right.
So.
And this is a beautiful oil. It's really, really lovely.
It's a little green because we just made it.
Right.
So it doesn't have that deep depth to it yet, but each time you open it, it'll get a little bit deeper, and it really gets magnificent.
It develops really well over time.
So
Absolutely.
I know vetiver is a root oil, and we actually buy it and let it sit for a while, right? To let it mature. Does this oil get better with time?
So it's a double-edged sword with this one, because it's a crystallizing oil. I don't know, I imagine everybody got this in March, frozen. So it needs to go to about 78 degrees and not quickly. So you don't want to put it in the microwave or anything, but warm it up in your hands or put it in your pocket. and it'll turn into a nice liquid. However, we did accidentally get the wrong cap on this one, and so it doesn't drop that well. It's a naturally thick oil, so you might just want to go ahead and take that off when you're pouring it in. You might have noticed that we got a large on there, but we didn't get an extra large.
I'm glad you brought that up too, especially about the
I saw some
crystallization.
frustration from some people.
Especially because this oil is one that is very sensitive as far as crystallization goes.
Yeah.
I think it crystallizes at 72 degrees.
78.
78, okay.
Yeah.
So it's normal if you receive it and it has solidified.
Yes.
You just need to slightly warm it, slightly bring it back to temperature.
Sandy,
and
you got it right.
You'll be fine. Sandy says in your bra. Yep, been there.
So Marissa is asking, do we need to keep it out of the fridge? I keep most of mine in the fridge to preserve the shelf life.
So this one I would recommend keeping out of the fridge, just like I would a rose, if you want it ready to go. Now, if you don't mind spending a couple hours to get it to
Warming
temperature,
it.
this is very similar to rose. It crystallizes hard, at anything
Yeah,
in lower
I
70s.
agree.
They were asking, does it really smell like root beer? Yes.
Let us hear from the people that have got it.
Yeah,
That's what Danny says. I think of floral vanilla. What did you think?
Yes, that's spot on with what I was thinking. Something a little bit more vanilla-like. But I have heard root beer from a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
Now remember what I said a minute ago. This is a kissing cousin of Indian sarsaparilla, which I forget the botanical for that. But it gets swept up in the harvest a lot of times when they're going after Indian
Right.
sarsaparilla.
That makes sense.
I just looked it up. The botanical name is Rootbeeris indianus.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty sure.
Susan says floral vanilla is spot on. Yep, that's exactly.
Oh, Heather
Me-
Wilson said cream soda.
Oh, now I
There
really
you
want a
go.
cream soda. That
Yeah.
sounds so
Or
good.
if you're as old as me, we used to have what's called sarsaparilla back in the day.
Yep.
And you definitely get a little bit of that too. But
Yeah.
Yeah, just
it's beautiful.
It's a really fun oil. I really like it.
We have a lot of customers asking how you can use it.
As far as like blending or
Probably therapeutically.
Yeah.
If they get it, what can they do
Can we
with it?
say therapeutic?
Yeah,
I think we could.
Yeah.
So I can put it this way: what the continent of India use it for a lot is a lot of stomach issues, a lot of digestion issues, ulcers. That's what they use it for, and so it's very good with these type of soothing. It's a soothing medicine. You can get that from the smell.
So you might blend it with something like a cardamom or something else that's really great for digestive health. Dilute it properly, and then if you're having any kind of stomach discomfort, apply circular motions to your tummy, and that will help to alleviate some of the discomfort you might be experiencing.
Yeah, my hope is that, because usually when we get an oil of the month and we decide whether to keep it permanently or not, it's on the comments that we get from our
Yes.
customers. So I'm hoping you guys make this one a permanent one. This is
For
one of my
Danny.
favorites.
I love that Eric says, I've never seen Robert before. I never knew he was so handsome.
Oh, Eric, put your glasses on. Thanks, man. Oh gosh.
And there are also some questions, Robert, about how you get your inspiration for all the oils of the months. Like,
So the main way I get inspiration is when I travel. It's hard here in the United States because there's probably 100 oils that a lot of people sell and a lot of people know. We're way past that on oil of the month for the most part, and so it's tough. I really have to go to a conference once a year that is producers from all over the world, and they'll always have some of these. Like this one is just done in peninsular India, and nobody has had this oil. Nobody. And so, we're that out in the weeds. And then you got to get it through the labs. There's a lot of testing that goes on. And when it's rare like this, it makes it all that much harder. So that always makes it fun. But my inspiration comes when I travel. I go to a lot of distilleries each year, and usually they'll be making something, their main batch. And then they'll say, but Robert, you got to try what I make for my family or something like that. And so I think you'll see some more throughout the rest of this year. We're really going pretty rare this year. We're trying to do a lot of oils and pushing the envelope where we haven't been able to afford it before. Some companies are working with us to get something that might normally cost a lot of
Outside
money.
of our range, right.
And they're working with me more, and so that part's fun. Now the shelf life for this is 1 year because it's a crystallizing oil, but it will get better in 2 months. Is it going to smell better than today? Yes.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I know. It's so lovely.
6060 Angie is asking, how far in advance do you decide what will be an oil of the month?
It's hard because of the testing. And Emily can spot me on this. Sometimes we've come down to 2 months before it has to be on the shelves. 2 weeks before it has to be on the shelves to just getting the final test in and approving it. And we don't like that. And so we like to be about 3 months out ahead to keep it fresh. And so
I think we've gotten better and better.
We've definitely gotten better.
Too. Yeah, and especially now that Robert has been able to create new relationships with suppliers and things like that, we've really kind of increased our lead time on that.
Yeah.
I
there was a question there I saw that was really good.
This one?
We've been describing this as smelling like vanilla. Is there anything in the works to replace vanilla oleo resin? We're not
Robert.
saying no. And it's very special too. So stay tuned
exciting.
to that.
Yes, stay tuned.
I didn't get the name there. What else was it, Danny?
Oh, I was just going to say, one time, I want to say a couple of years ago, I remember we had something coming in and we were really excited, and then we retested it once it came in, found out they had added something, and we didn't end up getting to use it.
Correct.
But that was, that's just kind of neat that we work for a company that will...
I think that's great. That just goes to talk a little bit about our testing process, which is very, very stringent, very strict. Several rounds of testing, right, Robert, that go into these oils before we'll ever release them to our customers, because we want to make sure that what we're getting, you're receiving, and that it's a very high quality essential oil.
I think I may have said the shelf life wrong. I don't know why I had 1 year in my head, but I'm seeing 2 to 3 years from a couple of people.
Okay,
on the info
is
sheet.
what we have on our info, which is even better.
It's better. If you can afford to let this sit for a couple of months, it just brews into the most beautiful thing I've ever. Like I said, this was the only one in a while that kind of knocked me back. First, because it was a root. It was very therapeutic, which usually means stinks. And then, I'm just saying. And then the smell was just amazing. So let that, brew for.
And I think it's a good point that it does develop more with time. I was recently doing the organoleptical review on this to release it. And when we do that, I'm generally comparing it to the received.
To my sample,
to your sample, and then the received lot. And when I was smelling them, I was just a little disheartened because the receipt or the sample that Robert brought in smelled so great. And then we got to talking about it and really just realized that it developed so much during that time frame that if you can let it sit a little bit, then I think you'll be even happier with the end product.
Ooh, I see some good oils coming up on here, and we'll get to them.
In fact, I just saw something on here that you and I had talked about, Robert. Our question of the day today is about oil of the month's future a little bit.
Yes.
And so let's go ahead and ask that.
Okay, so our question of the day, and one that Robert brought up and I'm really excited to get some feedback on, is would you like to see solid and semi-solid products available in oil of the month? I think that's really important, and it's something that we really want to know because Robert brings in some really fantastic products that we feel like could really fit within oil of the month, but sometimes we're not sure if our customers would like to see something that's solid or semi-solid, right?
Yeah. And so let me give a few examples of what we're talking about. So tonka bean, tobacco, mimosa, champaka. Champaka is a magnolia. Lotus, pink, white lotus. A lot of these are absolutes that are solid or semi-solid. And so you'll hear about them a lot and they smell amazing. But if you're getting it from a good source, they're solid. They're not something that you can pour out of the bottle in a dropper. And so the way we could sell that is to dilute it in an oil, a carrier oil, but you lose diffusion. And so that's why we've always just kind of hesitated,
Right.
because you kind of lose that diffusion aspect. But they're still, I mean, they're amazing. Tonka bean is amazing. There's so many. I have Pink Lotus on my desk right now. And, you know, it's just, there's a lot of cool things out there.
Robert has so many cool things
So
on
it's
his desk.
something we would like to know if people are open to that. And then, you know, maybe we'll throw one in every year.
Yeah, yeah, and I think us diluting them, or even just offering like really clear instructions on how to do it
Yeah.
yourself, would be a great option as well, depending on what we can do.
With production, you mean?
With production, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
And-
so let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, some of the comments that we got back from a question we asked a couple of weeks ago about the types of DIYs that you guys want to see. A lot of people wanted to know more about the oil of the months and how to use them. And so we will
Yeah.
be doing that. I
That'll
mean,
be
that's
fun.
something you guys want to see.
Yes.
Amber's another
definitely.
one. Yes.
Yep.
I'm seeing some coming up.
Oh, Amber.
Oh, Amber is.
Mimosa.
Amber's
Yeah, there's just
lovely.
so many that we've had to pass on because they don't pour out of the bottle.
Right.
Oak moss. Yes, I've seen that being made. Tonka, tobacco. I've seen them come. So,
Osmanthus?
I mean, it opens up a whole nother world. Another world that we're exploring a lot, and I think plant therapy has done a really good job of being ahead of most of the industry, is CO2s. And I think most of our customers know the benefits of that and why they're different.
Yes.
There's no heat involved.
And you get some of the heavier constituents, right?
Yeah.
Transfer over through CO2. You also get a scent that is much
Yeah.
closer to the plant through that kind of distillation method.
Samples, please.
Solid
Alrighty,
samples.
do we have any other questions, guys?
Instagram looks all about the solid and semi-solid, especially if
Awesome.
there's some guidance on how to use it if,
Yeah.
if we're not sending it diluted.
We will have to do that.
Oh, I'm excited. We'll get your guys' answers here. So tell us, whether or not you'd like to see solids and semi-solids, and maybe give us some ideas of what you'd like to see, and
Yeah.
I'll get that to Robert.
That would be great. That would definitely help us a lot. Alrighty, well, thank you all for joining us today. Robert, thanks for rescheduling
No
so that
problem.
we could do this. I think this has been one of my favorite shows so far. Just remember that Oil of the Month is one of our favorite product offerings and gives our customers and us the opportunity to explore the wonderful world of essential oils. And I love that because it really does give us the opportunity to really learn more about different areas, different countries, different kinds of extraction methods. So I love Oil of the Month for that very reason. And then make sure to come back on Friday for a DIY using our Friday specials. We're really excited to do that with you guys. Alrighty, have a great night, everyone. Thanks for coming.